Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Forbidden Land podcast. This is episode 113. Yes, episode 113. We have an interesting episode, a fun one. And yeah, I say fun as if some of these topics are not pretty awful. um, but yeah, I've been having a decent week so far. Kind of, recording the podcast last week and then releasing a old episode on Friday was pretty nice. And yeah, and I've been up to a lot of stuff. As you can tell, I have a giant stack of seasonings next to me. There's more behind all of that. It's just off screen. But yeah, I've been having a good week. I got to see some bull riding. And yeah, I think I said it last week, but I bought a grill. And I believe up until that point, I had not used it yet. However, now I've used it twice. So let me pull up these photos. How do I use Google Drive? So first, I'd like to show that I did make a meme about it. This is what I sent to everybody when I was grilling. But let me pull up the photos. So first I made some breakfast. Here, I'll pull up the grill photo. This really bad grill photo. And then I'll also pull up the finished product. And do not comment about how one of my pancakes looks burnt. It's not burnt. All right. It's not burnt. And then let me pull up the photos of what I made on Friday. Yeah, that's a good one. So, I'll start with the stuff I made on Sunday. On Sunday, I made some delicious chocolate chip protein pancakes. I made some little Jimmy Dean's sausage patties, and I made a bunch of shredded hash browns. And I put cheese in them, and I sprinkled a lot of pepper in them. And I was using some of this maple syrup, which, by the way, so for the protein pancakes, I used the Kodak chocolate chip. Saying another storm is coming. Yeah. I used the chocolate chip protein Kodak pancake mix, and I added a little bit of vanilla extract. It is going to start raining again. Added a little bit of vanilla extract, and then I also added a little bit of cinnamon and like a little like drip of maple syrup. And it tasted really good. Those were some fire pancakes. I made them for everybody. I thought I had to burp. Here's it on the grill. So yeah, pancakes, sausage, hash browns, all that jazz. And then here is what I made on Friday. I made a double smash burger with cheese. And so yes, that is a smash patty with cheese on top, with another smash patty with cheese on top with bacon on it. And then this was my girlfriend's cheeseburger. We also made some waffle fries and sweet potato fries. Yeah, so this is lore. I think I've talked about this before when talking about dieting. Some lore here. In 2021, I stopped eating beef. This is my burger, by the way. And I had an extra burger left over. In 2021, I stopped eating beef. And that is because beef is very fatty. It's very available. So it's very easy to get. and it's also very easy to overconsume. And I made the conscious decision to stop eating it because of those reasons. And for 4 years, I think starting this year, I would eat like a couple pieces of beef. Like if we went to Korean barbecue, I would try one of the pieces of beef, but nothing more than that. When we went on vacation, I uh, took a bite of a garlic burger from Steak and Shake. I miss garlic burgers so much. But with this, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I have rules now. If I want to eat beef, I have to be the one that makes it. Or I have to be eating it home cooked from specific people sparingly. So, like, smash burgers, the options were either I make them out of beef and everybody's happy here, or I make them all out of beef except for two of them, make them out of turkey, which would have been a waste of turkey meat. Or I make them out of all turkey, which would have not been very favorable to everybody in this household. Because turkey gets very old after a while. So what do? I decided I was going to just suck it up and eat a cheeseburger. And so that's what I did. I ate a smash burger. Ended up being fine. Yeah. I ended up being okay. The the burger didn't really affect me or anything. I didn't have any stomach problems, no skin issues, nothing coming out of my pores. We were worried for a long time if I started eating beef again, then I would get really sick. And like I guess I did have a couple stomach problems, but nothing like I thought it would be. And I ate like 2 full cheeseburgers. I ate this double smash burger with sharp white cheddar on it. And I ate this single patty smash burger because that's all I had left over with Colby Jack on it. This had 1 piece of bacon. This one had 2. And then I also had a couple fries, but I didn't really eat too many of them. I was pretty full after the 2 burgers. But yeah, and I also, these are sweet Hawaiian roll buns. And I threw them on the grill and toasted them, as you can see from this outer ring. Toasted them in that olive oil. Pretty nice, pretty nice. And yes, this is the griddle grill that I showed with the breakfast photos. So yeah, I think I did pretty well. All things considered. I was gonna transition to this, and I got rid of the photo before I did it. So let me pull the photo back up. While I was talking about the burgers, I realized something. You can see something in the background. That box right there. That's mine, baby. You have probably heard me talk about how much I hate this phone. I really do hate it. It sucks. It's slow. It's old. I've had it for 6 years now. Like, come on. This phone's no longer my phone. I mean, it is my phone, but it's no longer the one that I use primarily. This is my new phone. This phone's crazy. It's an iPhone 16 Pro. Here, let me pull up the exact. So I have a iPhone 16 Pro in black titanium. Here's a general idea of what it looks like. I mean, this is literally what it looks like. This is the part that trips me up. This side button right here, see where the notch is? Here. See where this notch is in the case? This side button activates the camera. Isn't that crazy? Here. Yellow. It's crazy how much smoother it is on my webcam too. Like you can really tell like just how smooth I am on this camera. Wow. Yeah, this camera's really good. I also have the ability to take raw photos, which is pretty crazy. I still don't even know what half of these mean. I can take like fully raw 4K photos. And like this photo that I just took. Yeah, this photo that I just took of the screen. Yeah, let me tell you how large this photo is. 91 megabytes. It's a 6K image. Never mind. It's 8064 by 6048 on a 48 megapixel camera, and it's a 91.1 megabyte photo. Wow. How crazy is that? Why does it want me to turn that into a sticker? It wants me to turn my monitor into a sticker. How crazy is that? This phone's insane. I went from an iPhone XR to this. And this is like the screen refresh rate is like 120. Like, man. Yeah. This phone's insane. But so it has this camera button on the side. Here's the power button, obviously. It's a little lower on the phone, so I keep like going to click my phone off up here, and then I have to slide down and click it down here. It's kind of funny. Yeah, because look, it's like way higher up on the phone on the XR. Um, it's got this like focus button on the side. So on older iPhones, this button right here is like the ringer silencer or whatever. On this phone, the side button right here is the focus button, and I have set mine, like I have a friend that set his to the flashlight, which the flashlight's crazy too because it fades in and out. That's so sick. Uh but the focus button, I have it set to where it'll Shazam music for me. So the other crazy thing is the camera. Dude, the camera's gigantic on this phone. I don't know what to do. I keep accidentally touching it because it's so large. It's just where my hand ends up. Like, I don't know what to do about how big this camera is. There was also a Pro Max. I didn't see it as worth it. I don't have very huge hands. I mean, my hands are big. But look at how big this phone is in my hand. This is the standard Pro. I don't think I need the Pro Max. Yeah, this is just the Pro. I think if I had the Pro Max, it would be way too big, and it would barely fit in my pocket. Yeah, I don't think it'd be a good idea for me to have the Pro Max, which is why I didn't get it. I don't see the point. I know back then when like the iPhone 6s, uh, or what was it, the iPhone 6 Plus or whatever. Um, I know that back then when they were introducing Plus models of their iPhones, every person in my fucking grade, I was in middle school, by the way, when the 6 dropped. I was in 7th grade. Everybody in my grade was like, oh my God, I need the 6 Plus. And then some of them would get the 6 Plus because mommy and daddy let them have it. And it would be gigantic. It'd be like sticking halfway out their back pocket. It'd be like, here's their hand. It'd be like this. They'd show up to school and be like, guys, got this new phone. And it'd be this gigantic phone. Also, here's the box. Yeah, it'd be this huge phone, and they can barely hold it. My mother still gets the Max models for her iPhone. Like I think she has a 14 plus or whatever, and it's gigantic. Like she'll hand it to me, and I'm like, this is way too big. It's also so much more expensive a month. That's the other thing that I don't get. The 16 Pro is like $36 a month. The 16 Pro Max I think was going to be something like $48 a month. No thanks. That shit's crazy. There were other color options too. I didn't even look at those. Natural titanium, just a standard silver color. Desert titanium. I have a friend that has desert titanium. It looks fine in real life. White titanium. Boring. I like that I got black. It's the first black iPhone I've ever owned. My and I don't have them here with me anymore because I moved them off to my mom's house, but they used to be in my drawer. My 4S was white. My 5C was blue. My 6S was silver. My XR is blue, as you can see from that little opening right there. And I was gonna get a few years ago. This was like 2022 or something like that. I was gonna get a new phone because my XR was close to being paid off, and so I was looking into it. I was just gonna pay off the rest of the XR and then get a new phone, and I was gonna get the 13 Pro. And I was gonna get it in like a forest green. I'm so sad they don't do cool colors like that anymore. I wanted forest green. I wonder if I could find it. Because it was a sick color. Here. Yeah. Alpine green. God, this phone. Here's a picture from Reddit. God, this phone looks so cool. Look at this. Oh, man. Also, I still don't know what that little notch right there is for. That's on my phone as well. I don't really know what that's for. I guess extra stability for the screen, but I don't know. Man, the Alpine Green 13 Pro looks so nice. But obviously my carrier phased them out a couple years ago, so I kind of lost that chance. I decided against it because I didn't think I could really afford it in my budget, which is true. I ended up eventually not being able to afford it for a long time. And now I can afford it. So I just was like, fuck it, I'll get the newest iPhone. That's who I think these new iPhones are for. I think they're for people that have had an iPhone for God knows how long, like what, years at this point. It's for people who have had an iPhone for probably like their old iPhone for probably like 5 or 6 years, like me. I've had this XR since 2019, and they need a phone upgrade. I think that's what these new phones are for. Cause like, you know, the iPhone 15 was cool. I thought about that one. That one I thought was sick. Because it introduced the USB-C port and had all these neat little features. I think the 16 is the refined, better version of the 15 for someone like me. Apparently the screen is stronger. What is it saying about it? Oh, the thinnest borders on any Apple product. Not like I can fucking tell. I have this giant case on it. New display technology, blah, blah, blah. Super Retina XDR display. What does that even mean? It's also got a ceramic shield material as the glass. 2 times tougher. Wow. Talk about durable. Okay, Apple. Good lord. What was it I was gonna say? Oh, there is HDR on this phone. So my old phone claimed to have HDR. Bullshit. It barely had HDR. Not anything noticeable, at least. The XR had, I think, was their first dip into advanced screen displays like that. I mean, the XR is the first iPhone to not have a home button. So I gotta quit showing my phone screen. This is the first iPhone to not have a home button. Is the X lineup, and I think this was their first dip into like HDR display technology, and so I don't think it was that good. My new phone on Reddit, because I use Reddit. Ugh. My new phone on Reddit, there's a display option to set it to dark mode, but have it be like midnight is what they call it, and it activates the OLED feature, where the whole screen is blacked out except for what I need to be seeing. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I love this new phone. I think it's really cool. Hope you're enjoying the episode. If you want to support us, you can go over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. You can subscribe for $10 a month to get bonus content. Or you can subscribe for $1 or $3 a month if you just want to support us. There's also higher tiers if you want to support us even more, even harder. But you don't have to. So head on over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. And for $10 a month, you can get the bonus episodes and even bonus content like the outtakes for this little segment. So thanks for supporting us and thanks for listening. So let's do a little bit of a music update. Since I talked about the Thornhill album, I have indeed listened to some new music that has come out since that episode dropped. So yeah, there's been some new music that's dropped. There's a whole Sleep Token album that came out. There's an entire Loathe song that dropped, which is a little shocking because Loathe doesn't drop music that much. But let me see. Where is it? It's called Gifted Every Strength. And it's by Loathe. And when I tell you that oh, it's already raining. Wow. Yo, it's already raining again. When I tell you that this song has one of these people going. This song has one of the best, like, long drawn out guitar solos at the end. I mean it. Let me show you what I mean. I can only play like a second of it. That's what I mean. You've got to listen to it. It's such a good song. And the whole song is super cool too. Like, it's not like something I've really ever heard before. There's like a lot of weird genre bending moments. Like there's a moment where the drums just randomly go into like a hard house beat, like, and then it goes right back to kick and snare. But like there was a moment in this song where they just do like a full on house beat. But it's such a good song and it's super long too. So if you don't have time, you might want to make time to listen to this song. And that's actually going to be the case for all of the songs I talk about here. A lot of the songs I've been listening to lately are like Emergence by Sleep Token. When it came out, I was listening to that. That one's kind of quote unquote long. But now that the album is dropped, so one of the songs I've been listening to, I don't like the whole album. I will say that up front. I'm not that big on the whole album, but that's just because it's not my style. It's nothing against the music. It's just, it's not something I prefer. But I like, what is it? Githysime? or Gethsemane or something like that. It's the garden that Jesus visits before his crucifixion, near Jerusalem. This song is actually really good, and it's 6 minutes long. Infinite Baths is really good. It's 8.5 minutes long. That's the last song on the album. I like that one a lot. And I like the 2 minute long like metal breakdown at the end. I've been listening to Dangerous, which sounds like their song Vor. So I like that. And I've also been listening to Look to Windward, which is a recent enjoyment of mine. I just started listening to that one about 2 days ago. But that one is like got like an interesting rap section in the middle. And I like the flow of it, and I like all the references that he makes. Like he makes the reference to Sodom and Gomorrah, I'm pretty sure. Which I thought that was pretty cool. I'm a big religious nerd. Like I'm not religious, but I will learn about religion all day. I love reading up and researching stuff about religion. It's basically our lore. It's really cool. But so I like stuff like that. I like biblical and religious references in works of art. Damn. That rain's coming down hard. At least on the back of the house it is. Sheesh, dude. The next thing I wanted to talk about, oh my god, Andor season 2. I finished Andor. That show, let me tell you, that show is so good. I love that show. I would say season 1 is just as good as season 2. I would say I love the time skipping. I love the usage of BBY in official Star Wars material. I like that they use this lore year naming system. It's actually really cool. Gives a little nod to the Star Wars fans. And I love its connection to Rogue One. I love that it sets up Rogue One as being a big deal. And it gives a lot of added context I think Rogue One needed. Like, I think Rogue One really needed that character development. And this show gives it to us. Is Jen Erso still a pretty boring character? Unfortunately. Because we don't have an Erso show. Nor do I think we need one. But now Cassian Andor is probably the most interesting character in that movie. Because now we get why he does what he does. You know, he's a seasoned rebel. He's been doing it for 4 years. He, you know, when he kills that guy on Kafring, it makes sense now why he would do something like that. I mean, it made sense before. They were establishing that he's a ruthless rebel that will do whatever it takes. But now we know why he will do whatever it takes. We know why he has this motivation to fight in the rebellion. Not just, I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old. You know, now we know that he's been fighting oppressive regimes since he was 6 years old. Dude, my voice is doing that thing. There's a frequency in my voice that's hitting my brain that I think only I can hear. Ah! Get it out. But yeah, I like the show. It's written really well. It's got a lot of cool like nuance in it. That's a wheel. It's got a lot of cool nuance in it. It's got like really cool political themes. It portrays the Empire as actually being pretty terrifying, but also equally incompetent because of all the bureaucracy, which I think is very accurate to our own governments. I think the whole like the Empire underestimating how efficient the rebels are and how they act like, "Oh, I got you. I've caught you now. You're finished." Just for the rebels to be like, you have not even a slightest clue how far behind you guys are." And at every step of the way they fail. Like the Imperials fail. I do like that. I think it really shows how incompetent the Empire is. Spoiler alert. One of the things I'm referring to is Luthen saying to Dedra Meero, the rebellion is long gone from here. There's a whole galaxy waiting to disgust you. And then, as soon as she realizes, like, what do you mean there's more information I don't know about? You have to tell me about this information. That's when he just kills himself. Like, I think that's a really cool way to show, like, the Empire will be fed these little crumbs of how close they are, of truly how close they are to catching the rebels. And right when they're prompting the rebels to elaborate, the rebels can't. So we're going to pull up my Star Wars tier list. Another thing is I like K2SO's origin. I liked that he was really only in the last arc. I think it would have been really detrimental to the serious tone of the show if he had been present during the Gorman genocide, for instance. And that was another thing I hadn't even talked about yet. The Gorman genocide, dude. Crazy. What an insane event. I was sitting there with my jaw to the floor. I was like this the entire time. Cyril's death was crazy. Didn't expect that so early in the season, but I guess that is a testament to how good the show is, that they'll be like, this character's done all he can do. Boom, Yeah, watching the massacre on screen like that was so, like, vivid and visceral. I was like, there's no way this episode is rated TV-14. It has to be rated like MA or something, because it was really brutal to watch. But yeah, and then at the end when Bix leaves Andor, that made me really sad at the end of that arc. But I loved the Senate rescue. I loved watching Andor traverse the Imperial Senate. And I like seeing more of the Senate building. I do enjoy that. I like seeing the world. Like when we were watching Rogue One and I saw Coruscant outside the window of Galen Erso's apartment, I was like, yes, bring me more Coruscant, please. And then when they announced Andor, I was like, oh shit, we might get some Coruscant. Before that show even came out, Obi-Wan showed us a little crumb of Coruscant during some of the flashback stuff. I was like, oh, perfect. I love seeing modern CGI Coruscant. Then we see it all the time in Andor. I just love it. I love seeing the Imperial Senate like that. And I loved watching him traverse the Senate to save a senator. And I also like seeing Mon Mothma's origin of leaving the Senate. I knew it was coming. Like, I knew eventually she would have to leave the Senate to join the rebellion, but I didn't expect it to go down the way that it did. But yeah, what was it? Oh, I have it written down. What am I doing? The reveal at the end, Bix with the baby, made me cry like a little child. It made me sob. I was like, why do you have to do that to me? I know he's going to die. I know he's never going to see Bix again when she says, when this is all over, we'll come find each other. That moment made me weep. Then you got to show me that the whole time he's had a baby. Oh my God. Come on. And Bix wouldn't tell him that he had a son the entire time, because then he would have really left the rebellion. Ay, ay, ay. It's just so sad. But I love the lead up to Rogue One. I love the hospital scene where Clea has to go and basically mercy kill Luthen so he can't be tortured to give up information to the Empire. Um, I love all the scenes with Krennic. I love how the Imperial supervising commander or the supervisor like leader basically basically comes to the conclusion that he will have to kill himself by the end there. And yeah, it gives a lot of cool context to Rogue One, where we go from like, we know that Krennic just had to deal with all these security leaks. It makes sense as to why Tarkin is already on his ass about security leaks. And then the Edu stuff with Galen Erso is just an added layer on top of that. Yeah, I like all of it. I think the recast for Bail Organa was interesting. I didn't hate it. I actually like the actor that played him. But I am a little sad that the original actor couldn't be there. Although I have a theory. I don't know if the filming schedules aligned on this. My theory was that it's because he was filming for Dexter Resurrection. Because he's casted to be in that show as why am I blanking on his name? He's the Miami ADA. Fucking Miguel Prado. He's Miguel Prado in Dexter, season 3. And it was heavily rumored that he would be returning in like a flashback sort of sense. So, yeah. That's my theory. I doubt it's true, but that is my theory as to why he couldn't be in this season. All right, let's pull up the... Oop, hold up. Let's pull up the tier list. Stop. Why can't I move this? What the hell? Why can't I move it? Oh, that's why. Okay. I had the wrong thing selected. All right, Andor Season 1. Right there. Let's go get a picture for Andor Season 2. Andor Season 2. Is this the poster for it? Yeah, it looks like it's the... Yeah, it is the poster. Cool. Okay. Keep canvas size. Andor Season 2, I will be putting it right here on the S tier. Right next to Season 1. Actually, slightly ahead of Season 1. I love Season 1, but I like the lore implications of Season 2. So, there we go, folks. That's my tier list for Star Wars. I have not watched Skeleton Crew. Oh, I can add another show, too. I watched Tales of the Underworld. I can rank that one. Here, let's see. What does the 7 mean? Interesting. Okay, Tales of the Underworld. Tales of the Underworld. Keep canvas size. I have some thoughts about this show. I thought the Ahsoka arc was decent. I thought it was fine. The problem is that this one felt too short. The other shows, like Tales of the Jedi, felt perfectly paced. The episodes were short, but it conveyed what it wanted to convey in the time frame that it was given. Tales of the Empire was fine, but some of the episodes felt like heavy filler that could have easily been mashed into another episode, or combined with another episode. Like just whole episodes that are simply conversations, like the one where Thrawn shows up to recruit what's her name. That could have been mashed into the end of another episode or the beginning of another episode. I don't think we needed that one at all. But Tales of the Underworld, the Ahsoka stuff was okay. Or not the Ahsoka. The Asajj Ventress stuff was okay. I might have been saying Ahsoka this whole time. The Asajj Ventress stuff was okay. And then I took a couple day break to watch the Cad Bane stuff. I'm sad that I did because the Cad Bane arc is not that good. And I was kind of disappointed by it. I think that the first episode is good of the Cad Bane arc. The second episode is okay. However, I think it suffers from how short it is. He shows up, goes, "What lawman killed my buddy?" Finds out immediately. The next day, finds the lawman, the marshal, kills him. Episode over. What do you mean? This is like one of the most iconic bounty hunter characters in Star Wars. He is a feared Jedi killer, hired by Palpatine himself to kill Jedi and to get a holocron for him. This dude's a big deal. He's a pivotal character in the Clone Wars. So pivotal, he's been brought back for the Bad Batch and even adapted in live action for the Boba Fett series. So pivotal that his deleted episode from the Clone Wars, his unfinished one, is constantly visually referenced in the later material. Like the Bad Batch, where he has the metal plate on his head from when he was shot in the head by Boba. The second episode is so simple that it's kind of lame. The third episode is worse. Because this dude... The whole episode is basically like, oh, we're scared he's going to come and kill this guy. Oh, he's going to come and kill me. The guy's so naive. He's like, oh, no, I can handle this. Cut to, 2 minutes later, dead. Bro, and then that's the whole episode. There's nothing more to that. Boring. We go to the same boring ass looking planet for all 3 episodes. Explore more of the arc, dog. Here's the thing. In Tales of the Jedi, the first episode with Ahsoka's birth was fine. The second Ahsoka episode, I like that one. It's her training with the clones, and it leads directly into the Battle of Mandalore for Order 66. The third episode of her shows her very swiftly taking out an Inquisitor. I thought that was cool to show some Imperial life of Ahsoka, because we've already seen a lot of Ahsoka. Show some of the stuff we don't really see of her. The Count Dooku arc. An episode where he basically battles it out with a Republic senator. Another episode where he yet again battles it out with the corruption of the Republic. The third episode, which shows him already doing the bidding of Palpatine, mourning over Qui-Gon, and then he has to kill Yaddle as a test to show his loyalty to Palpatine. Those are some good episodes. These episodes where it's just Cad Bane going back and forth, to go to the same planet just to kill one dude at a time. Come on, man. I wasn't a fan of this one. I think this one was pretty lacking. I do like the Quinlan Voss and Obi-Wan appearances in the beginning of the show. And I like that they explain why Asajj Ventress would be alive after Dark Disciple. It helps all these Star Wars nerds rest easy at night when they go, "Oh my God, Dark Disciple was decanonized and Asajj Ventress isn't dead anymore," and it's like, now we know, yes, she was indeed dead at the end of Dark Disciple. She is now revived at the beginning of this show. So I do like that. I liked that part. So I like the Ventress episodes. The Cad Bane ones really killed it for me. That's what I'm saying, though. The first Cad Bane episode was fine. The second and third Cad Bane episode, boring. And that's the problem, is that these tales of whatever shows suffer from being too short. They're too short to tell the type of stories that they're clearly trying to tell. Here's the thing, pick one story and stretch it across the 3 episodes. Why are we even doing it episodically at that point? If the show is so short and it's being dropped all in one day, why not just make one full length Clone Wars length episode of the story you're trying to tell, and then make a second full length Clone Wars length type of episode, and that be the whole show? Do your 2 different stories over the course of like a full 45-minute episode, and stick to one story. Like, don't do the whole, don't do the whole, like, here's him as a child, here's him as a young adult killing a marshal, here's him as a slightly older adult killing his best friend. That's it. Show us like a Cad Bane origin story that's linear and cohesive. That's my Star Wars rant. So here's the tier list. I haven't watched Skeleton Crew. I don't think I will. Still haven't watched the anime Star Wars one. I just haven't found any motivation to watch it. But I'm not dogging on it. I'm sure Visions is good. I just don't. It's hard for me to watch new shows. It's hard. I have a bad attention span. But yeah, hey, clearly a Star Wars fan, fellas. I like Star Wars. I really do. I love Disney Star Wars as well, which pisses off a lot of OG Star Wars fans. Sorry, but they've made some decent stuff. They've made some not so decent stuff. Tales of the Underworld is one of those shows where I was just disappointed by it. But then there's Andor, and I think that's one of the best pieces of Star Wars media we've ever gotten. So, bite me. I just really wish Tales of the Underworld would have been better. What was its score on IMDb? A 7 out of 10? Do I hold an unpopular opinion of this show? Whoa. They're all like 7 to 8s out of 10. Are you for real? That's kind of crazy, actually. I'm surprised. How did Andor do? I know that Andor got some good ass reviews. To the point where I think they even like set a record for 9 out of 10 episodes. Yeah, good thing One Way Out has a 9.5 out of 10. Thank God. Who are you? Welcome to the rebellion. Make it stop. Who else knows? Jeddah, Kyber, and Kyber Urso. All of those have 9 out of 10s and almost 10 out of 10s as well. Wow, the second season's rated really well. Sheesh. All right. Yeah, the Who Are You episode is a 9.8 out of 10. Crazy. Wow, Star Wars at its peak, an opus of chaos. Wow. People love this, huh? Awesome. All right. Moving on. Uh there's political stuff that I'm going to talk about. Trump said he's going to recognize a Palestinian state. Do I think he will actually do this? Maybe. I made a tweet, so my prediction is out there on the record where I can't change it. But here are my thoughts. I said he's wanting to recognize a Palestinian state for 3 reasons. Either A, he wants to give himself the ability to declare a war on Palestine without it being seen as a declaration of war against Israel. I say A or 1. B, lets him determine where the Palestinians live, so he might pick a different place as where he recognizes a Palestinian state. Or C, he's simply butthurt by the Israeli prime minister. Apparently Netanyahu's been pissing him off. A lot of his advisors have been working behind his back with Israel. He seems to be genuinely frustrated with Israel. He literally called the Houthis brave, which I thought was pretty interesting. Was it the Houthis or Hezbollah? Trump. Houthis are brave. Mr. Trump said you could say there was a lot of bravery here. Yo. Yeah. He's been going kind of crazy on it. I think Netanyahu pissed him off. Let's see. Oh god. What was I looking at? Oh, okay, I see. Sorry, my thing is being weird. The other thing Trump has done is bring white South Africans to the U.S. as refugees, basically Afrikaners. I was saying the only damaging part of this move is that Trump is calling the reallocation of stolen land during apartheid South Africa, he's calling it a white genocide. Other than that, bringing a few white South Africans to the U.S., I don't think is a big deal. I think it's just stupid posturing by the Trump administration. This also gives a lot of ammo to white supremacists. So that's pretty unfortunate and annoying. Next week, I will watch the Biden special counsel interview clips from Axios, by the way. I have a playlist of them here. I have my thoughts. I'll go ahead and watch one.
So during this time when you were living in Chambers Road and there were...
Well, I don't know. This is what, 2017, 18, that area?
Yes, sir.
Remember, in this time frame, my son is either been deployed or is dying. And so...
That part makes no sense, because Bo died in 2015. So that'll give you a little preview of what I will be reacting to, because you know I love talking about how old and decrepit Biden had become by the end of his presidency. And this right here vindicates me. Before I go, you should watch Useful Charts. watch his video series on who Jesus could have actually been historically. I think they're really good videos. I don't know. I just thought they were cool. That's my recommendation for this week. Thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to us on Patreon, it's patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. And yeah, you can find us on streaming platforms like your Samsung fridge. Yeah, all right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next week. Adios.